Today, we're going to look at this new video enhancement technology called FlashVSR. The main characteristic of this technology, as you can imagine, is indicated by the name Flash, which means it's extremely fast. You can achieve video enhancement through just a single stable diffusion step. Overall, this technology achieves an excellent balance between speed and effectiveness. In this video, we're going to see this new tool that's revolutionizing video upscaling or video enhancement using AI. First, let's look at traditional video enhancement technology. The left side is the original video, and the right side is the result after amplifying it. The effect is very evident. Its second function is called AIGC video enhancement. This means that even if you don't increase the resolution, you can still achieve the purpose of enhancing the video. For example, in the video you're watching, the resolution doesn't actually change much, but the enhancement effect is quite evident. Let's move on to the installation. We're going to go to this Hugging Face website from the user called Kijai, whom we've already seen in another previous video. This user uploads models from different AI programs that are being released, and this case was no exception. Here we can see the corresponding model. We have these three files, and we're simply going to download them. And here we can also download the workflow, which I'll also leave in the description.
Once we've downloaded the models, I'm going to open my ComfyUI here, and you're going to upload the corresponding models to that structure in the ComfyUI folder, as we can see here on the screen.
In case you have any missing nodes, we simply update them here where it says Manager Missing Nodes, and here we're going to update ComfyUI so all the models load. Let me explain more or less how the workflow is structured. The first block is FlashVSR, and the second block is the one that loads the video. We'll start here explaining the video block, which is the one at the bottom, because we're going to enhance the video scale, so we'll need to load a video. We'll load the video that we're going to enhance in this node at the bottom. I want to point out that the forced frequency is set to 16, as we can see here. This means that regardless of what your video's frames per second are, it will be scaled to 16 frames per second. The next node contains the Resizer, which is where we actually set the size to which we'll scale the video. As you can see here, it's currently set to 1920 by 1080 pixels. Another important node in this video node is FlashVSR. This sets the FlashVSR model strength, which will affect the redrawing of the loaded video. Currently, this strength is set to 0.6. This setting is generally sufficient, so we're going to leave it like that. But if you want to experiment, you can experiment here by changing the value.
That's basically everything for this block, which is quite simple. Once again, we'll load the video of this person talking here. This video is at a resolution of 320x140 and is a video that was made with a Handycam video camera from over 20 years ago. Another thing I forgot to explain, this box here, frame load cap 81, those are the number of frames we're going to generate. To make the generation quick for this video, we're going to leave it like that. Now let's move on to the upper block, which is called FlashVSR. Here are the models we downloaded, and we're going to look at this node called FlashVSR. We need to place them in the folder, as we can see here in this diagram, and I've already placed them. They are selectable, which means the main model is selected in this model node. Here, if we click on the drop-down menu, this is where the model is selected. Sage Attention is also configured here. I know many of my subscribers have had problems installing this Sage Attention. So if you don't have Sage Attention installed, you have two solutions: either install it, but if you can't get it to work with this installation and you don't want to dedicate much time to it, you can set the attention mode here to SDPA and deactivate this node with Ctrl+B or by right-clicking and giving it a bypass menu. So here we can give it a bypass to deactivate it. Sage Attention and this node simply speed up the generation. We load the text encoder. This node loads the VIE for Flash. This VIE is an encoder, as we can see it here. So in these nodes, we'll load the models we already downloaded and configure those model settings. The next node is where we put the prompt. I haven't noticed any significant difference between writing some positive or negative value, so it wouldn't influence much. In general, you can leave the field empty, but I think it's better to write this prompt here. In the prompt part, we're going to leave it as man talking. The next node would be the sampler that we have here. This is done in a single step, which is why the generation is so fast and the seed is set to fixed here. We can choose it to be random as well or leave it fixed. You can generally leave the settings here as they are without changing anything in these nodes. If you get an error, for example, if you have little RAM or VRAM, you could get an error due to lack of memory. Although this model doesn't consume much memory, if you get an error here, you can reduce the tile sizes. Here we have color correction, which is the last node, and this node is called color match from the KJ node set. This match node is used to return this color correction to the original version. It makes the output video more similar in color to the input.
You can experiment with those parameters here. I think that's everything regarding the nodes. Having all these nodes selected, we click on Generate and wait. In case you have any problem or get an error, I also explained this in a previous video. Simply copy the name of the error or take a screenshot, and I recommend that you use, for example, Claude, which is this chat bot where you can tell it the error you got, and Claude will suggest how to fix it. I do this because everyone has a different computer. For example, for this video I'm running this on a video card with 16 GB of VRAM, which is an RTX 3080, which is high-end. It's already a bit old, from 4 years ago, but everyone, if they get an error, the error depends on the machine on which this model is running. That's why I suggest you make these error corrections, because it's impossible for me to predict what error you're going to get. That's my suggestion. Here we have the result. Obviously it improved, but you can still notice some artifacts everywhere in this part, but it's quite good. There are other paid tools like Topaz, which is another tool to do this video upscaling that you have to purchase. There's also this OpenArt tool which also does video upscaling or improves the video resolution. If you're interested in acquiring OpenArt, I also have a discount link in the description. Let's do another example. Let's use this other video of this woman. As you can see, this resolution is a bit better. Let's send it and see the result. Much better. The change is subtle. It's not like in the other video where you can see the change quite clearly. But here, as we can see in the details of the edges, you can notice that it has this processing in the video.
We see here that the edges sometimes tend to exaggerate them a bit, but you can see how improved the details more subtle than in our previous example. In conclusion, this FlashVSR video enhancer is a good option that can compete with the paid options. The only negative part is that you might need a lot of time getting all the settings correct and a good PC with a good GPU and ideally more than 12 GB of VRAM.
I think that's all for this video. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, activate the bell so you get notifications of new videos I'm making. And if you made it this far, I invite you to watch this other video where I show how to fix audio from any video or a song using artificial intelligence. Click here. See you next time. Bye bye.